Here are 3 learnings we can take from ChrisMD's 20 versus 1 video. And we should be taking notes because it hit 2 million views in just 2 days. It's a masterclass in storytelling, and that's because Chris and his team start at the end of the edit, which might not sound like the right way to do it, but trust me, it makes sense. He does this so that he knows where the video is going and what story he needs to tell. As editors, we always need to know what the story of the video is, and keep that in mind throughout the whole video. How can we build up this ending to make it as epic as possible with the footage we have? And in order to do this, he works back and finds subtle sound bites that build us up to the ending.
She's really sweet.
She's fantastic.
See?
Yeah,
I told you this was the one.
Focusing on the connections and the funny moments within the conversations, and making sure we are investing enough time in the winner so that the viewer can connect and care about her.
Oh, Lord of the Rings girl.
Belloc well hatha, spray on ice back and forth and send it.
That is so cool.
The end would fall really flat now, wouldn't it, if we got to the end and we were like, oh, well, didn't really want her to win. So it's our job as editors to pull out those subtle moments that change a viewer's feelings. But all of this would mean nothing if Chris and his team didn't know how to change the pacing in videos, as no one would ever get to the end. And that's because in this video we have a big problem to solve. 20 different segments of 20 different people is a lot, and would be very boring to watch if all these segments were the same pacing and the same length. But the editing overcomes this in the first round by upping the pacing and moving through multiple people who aren't going to add to the video very much. This also comes back to the last point of knowing where you're building to and knowing the end of the video and knowing the storyline that you're editing. Because the pacing then slows down when we get to people who are in the video for longer, maybe the finalists, semi-finalists, because we know we want the audience to care about those contestants. And this is the same on other talent shows like X Factor or Britain's Got Talent. Of course, we don't spend the same amount of time watching each contestant. Some are terrible and they're skipped through. Some are really, really terrible.
Yeah, come on, just let me be with the woman that I love. The woman that I love.
And then we watch them because they're entertaining, and some are really good, so obviously there's more time allocated to them in the edit because the audience needs to care more and are going to see them later on in the show. Which takes me nicely onto my next point of Chris knows that he doesn't need to reinvent the wheel all the time, and that's because he's taken multiple proven video concepts here. Now the obvious one is 20 versus 1 from the Sidemen. These videos have been very successful on YouTube, and that's what the video is based around. Of course, editing techniques and concepts as well from talent shows, but also the whole love vibe seems to be somewhat inspired by Take Me Out, the kind of cringe but funny editing video style. And he's done this because proven familiar video concepts are so powerful, as the familiarity is already built up with the viewer, and there's less convincing to do that the video is worth their time watching. It's like watching a TV show you've seen before. You already kind of know it's going to be good, but the timing of the use of these familiar concepts is also very key. He uses them in the thumbnail, the intro, and the start of the video. Statistically, the start of the video is when most people click off, as they are making a decision whether they should watch the video and if it's worth their time. So by using these familiar concepts at the start of the video, it's much more likely that they're going to stick around and watch it a bit longer. And you also open your video up to a much larger audience, not just people who like ChrisMD videos or football videos. You also open it up to people who like these other video concepts that are much bigger and shown on TV and are more familiar to a larger audience. But there are also aspects that Chris does outside of the YouTube video to propel it in views by finding viral moments. This is so important with the explosion of TikTok Reels and especially YouTube Shorts, because you can link to a long form video from the YouTube Short now, making it much easier to watch the short and then be able to watch the YouTube video in just one click. And the power of this traffic from short form videos is so powerful because you are already qualifying the viewer that if they like this short, which is part of the YouTube video, they're very likely to like the long form YouTube video and are going to watch a large proportion of the YouTube video, which is going to improve your audience retention rather than this traffic coming from a tweet where they're maybe not sure what they're going to get from the video. The viewers who are already coming from short form content are already familiar with what the video is going to be like, as they've already seen 30 seconds to a minute most of it. Even in songs nowadays, they sometimes try and write in lyrics that they think is going to go viral or be used a lot of time on short form platforms. And the beauty of these viral moments is they aren't too much work. You can look for them as you are editing and drag them into another sequence, reframe them, and then it's done. You've got your short form clip. And if you want more breakdowns on YouTubers' editing styles, click subscribe and go watch this video right here.